Hey, what's going on guys? Mixuba here. And in today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Instead of a gameplay video, because as you guys all know, Kaldheim is releasing in 4 days, super hype. But yeah, the Zendikar Rising Standard is becoming pretty dry, like, a week before new set release, as always. So we're going to be taking the time to make a guide on how to start farming Historic. Historic is one of the more expansive formats on Arena. It's actually huge. It contains pretty much every card in Arena, minus the ones that have been banned. But yeah, that means anything in Standard, plus the expansions, plus like Ixalan, Dominaria, all that stuff. So we'll get into how to start farming it. Right now on Arena, we have the Historic Challenge available. And these challenges, for those of you that don't know, are the actual best way to farm cards. They come around, well, I think the Historic ones come around at the end of every Standard, and the ones supporting the new set come around the first week or second week of the new set. So you guys are gonna for sure have a Kaldheim Standard Challenge very soon, which I do recommend you farm because drafting is a very consistent way to farm collections. And as you guys can go back a couple months now, I made a video on how to farm all of Zendikar Rising, right? And that's basically just abusing the Premier Draft system and just getting high wins and vaulting a lot of the cards. So it's a good system, but if you look at the events on Arena, we don't always have draft systems for the Arena historic format, right? We have Zendikar, we have 2021, and these are standard sets. We're always going to have standard sets to draft if you want to on Arena, but we're not always going to have historic ones. Also, you can farm historic drafts, but it's a pretty slow way to build your collection and feasible, but not very consistent. This formatting is much better, right? So if we open a browser tab, just give me 1 second, guys. Yeah, all right, so I got this set up here. It basically explains the reward formatting. 8 wins gives you 40 Kaladesh packs and 1,500 gold. So you're making 500 gold back because the entry cost is 10,000 and you're getting 40 packs. The way the wildcard system works is every 6 packs you're going to get a rare, and at a certain point those 6 packs are going to become a mythic. Out of every card you get in Kaladesh, it is going to go towards your historic collection, basically increasing your vault. And there's a lot of very playable rare cards in historic, such as like Scrap Heap Scrounger and all of the fast lands, very playable mythics like Chandra Torch of Defiance, which I'm pretty sure is put in the remastered packs. But yeah, basically the amount of packs you get out of this is just crazy. It's better than drafting because drafting doesn't actually fill up your wild card collector. I'm not even sure what that's called. Basically, it's that bar that fills up whenever you crack a pack, and once you get 6, obviously you get the wild card. But yeah, so this is the most packs for your gold that you can actually get right now. And even if you're trying to farm standard, like just wildcard farming is great for these events. Baseline, you're getting 4 rares, and because 1 pack on Arena is worth 1,000 gold, you are essentially, even if you get 0 wins, you're basically getting 4 rares. So you're going neg 6,000 gold, which isn't great, obviously, but there are much worse transactions in this game. So, absolute baseline, you get no wins and you lose 6,000 gold. But, let's look on the upside. And once you hit 5 wins, you start going actually crazy with 8 packs and 6,000 gold, and it scales upwards and upwards. This challenge is different but better, in my opinion, than the typical standard challenges, because you can go to 8 wins, which is 1 more than the standard challenges, or 3 losses, which is 2 more than the standard challenges. I couldn't find the old MTG news article. I looked, believe me, for the old standard challenge, but I found a screenshot of it from MTG a zone, right? So this is how it looked. You got, for the max wins was 7, you got 30 packs and a bunch of gold, and 1 loss and you were out, albeit the entry cost was 5 times less. In this one, your gold threshold is much higher. You can get 3 times more gold and 10 more packs. And the risk reward isn't as high because you can always throw 2 games, or I say throw, like if you get mana screwed or have to mulligan a lot, then, it's not exactly an insta loss. Like it can be really frustrating to only have 1 shot. At around like 5 wins, you get mana screwed in game 3 and you're just like, oh, well, I just lost all that, the opportunity at big rewards. But yeah, now we're going to get into actually farming decks, because I don't have many historic cards, and I'm sure a lot of you don't either. So we're going to go on to different decks or ideas on how to actually farm that set. So right now, let me just get off this mono red goblins deck. I pulled up MTG Goldfish, which you guys should know by now. It's a pretty good site for finding recent tournament results, deck lists, all that type of stuff. So I don't know how accurate the historic meta snapshot is here, but it can still give you a pretty good idea of lists to play. And you can always find something that has a lot of standard cards, or a lot of cards that, if you'd say you're a longer time player like I was, I didn't play during like Dominaria or Ixalan on Arena. Like I just wasn't playing Arena at the time because I had a Mac. And as you guys know, Macs do not, or now it's supported, but it wasn't. So when I started playing Standard, it was a lot during the, Eldraine and so on and so forth. So if you pull up like a Rakdos Sack deck, a lot of these cards are old Eldraine cards or cards that were in the past Standard before rotation. Like Cauldron Familiar is an uncommon, Dreadhorde Butcher. If you guys played Sack before, you have it. Same for Priest. This card's new, so I mean, it's a 3-of kind of craft. But as you guys can see, a lot of these cards were in Standard. Well, not this one, but Claim the Firstborn, Witch's Oven, even the mana base, Blood Crypt, Castle Lochthwain. This land obviously was in old sets. But you guys get what I'm saying, where a lot of the cards, I mean, there's 2 Phyrexian Towers in this list, but yeah, you can make the investment, which is what I'm going to do, into playing an older Standard deck, pretty much with historic upgrades, right? Like if I just take historic cards, it's 1 Angrath, the Sovereign Councilship. Actually, let's pull up Arena. So, and I don't even think you necessarily need these cards. You can always just make a budget or toned down version of the deck. Like I'm probably going to play Rakdos and Gruul, which is what I recommend because they have the most standard or past standard cards. But even if you don't have access to a lot of those, you can try just standard mono red, honestly, or like a cheaper burn deck. Like if I pull this up, you have, I mean, Bomat Couriers are rare, but a lot of these cards are commons and uncommons, which could be lying around in your collection. But what I really recommend if you want to properly get into historic is invest into one good deck and farm the crap out of this event. Like you can also go on Aether Hub for ideas. Like I have a Rakdos Sack deck open just because I was looking at stuff. And yeah, let's say even go to like Gruul Aggro. I don't recommend a 3-color deck because that's going to require a lot of check lands and a lot of fast lands and a lot of shock lands, which I mean, I have because I played Ultra Standard, but I don't have the other 2. I mean, Aether Hub's been really glitchy for me all day. It's not actually loading the deck images, but we can get back to that and see if they've loaded. You can also go on MTGA Zone, and I mean, there's a lot of ads. We can just close those. But yeah, there's a lot of decks. Like people are even posting about the event 8-2 Gruul Aggro. Like if we check this list out, I know it's going to be, like I've looked at it before, and it's very standard friendly, right? Like this card's uncommon, and Bone Crushers in Standard, BTE's uncommon, Gallia's in Standard, Gruul Spellbreaker Old Standard, Llanowar Elves common. You guys get the what I'm saying. The most expensive stuff can be the mana base, so you can just play 2-color mana base or a monocolored mana base for that matter, which is why I had Goblins open on the MTJ Historic, right? Like if you don't want to invest in dual lands that are rares, I completely understand, and you just rather play creatures, then I mean, the Muxus is a rare, Krenko's a rare, Goblin Warchief is an uncommon, Matron's an uncommon, Goblin Chieftains are rare. You guys get what I'm saying, right? Like a lot of these cards a lot of these decks will cost you a couple wild cards, but as long as you do one clean run in this historic challenge, you've pretty much paid it back, and from there you can just go farming on more and more and more. So that is what I intend on doing, and I'm not saying you guys need to do this to get into historic, but I am definitely saying that is my plan. And one thing I can see people being skeptical about is how relevant Kaladesh is. Despite Kaladesh not being super relevant, what you're really doing is filling out your collection, which, I mean, mine's not exactly loading. Oh, there it is. Okay. You're filling out your collection, filling up this, the pack uncommon rare wildcard thing, and crafting the cards that you really want. As well as if I pull up Kaladesh, where is it? Kaladesh Remastered. I bought like 1 pack, so you got that Fatal Push, very nice. But yeah, and I go craft. This whole set has, and I go land. Can I type in land? Yeah, all right, so all these fast lands are pretty much necessary. Well, not that, but like, or Aether Hub actually, but I mean, all these dual colored fast lands are huge wins. So anyways, guys, that's it for the video. If this helped you out in any way, then be sure to drop a like and consider subscribing. It really motivates me to make more content. And one thing to note is that this event isn't lasting very long, but it will come back. These events always do come back. And if you've invested in one deck, then you can farm it pretty much every time. The historic format will change, but typically it will evolve with, yes, remasters, but those don't come very frequently. They will mostly come with standard sets being released, which if you guys are playing standard anyways, you are probably farming those. And if not, then you're not really playing standard on Arena properly, unless you're paying for the cards, which if you are, I don't even know why you're watching this video. So anyways, that's it for real. Be sure to drop a like if you enjoyed, and I will catch you in the next one, everybody. Peace out.